because when I did that, then I really saw a spike in my followers, right? कि एक दिन में 100
Hmm.
150 200 आराम से आ जाते थे, right? So that can happen if you. Yeah, there was this guy who came to me on LinkedIn saying that I want to get married to you. I have a rishta. I have.
This is one of the interesting podcasts that I have recorded on Achuth Let's Talk show, because Rashmi and I have been connected on LinkedIn for 1.5 years, but we have never met one on one, not even virtually. So this was the first time that we met, and this is kind of a two friends having conversation on professional things, and this conversation is completely value packed, and she has even shared some tips and tricks on how to grow on LinkedIn that she has been following, and she has reached around 28,000 followers at this time. Some really funny and odd incidents that has happened with her on LinkedIn, and landing up clients like Mama Earth, big clients on her portfolio. I'm sure that you will enjoy the next 30 minutes of this episode. Hey guys, on another note, I noticed that 70% of people who watch my videos never subscribe to my channel. I would highly appreciate if you could subscribe to this channel, because it takes a lot of time and work and effort to record, edit, along with my full-time freelance projects that I handle. Okay, now go watch the video.
So hey, thank you, Achuth, for inviting me here. And I know it's been we've been planning for this for a long time, but finally we are here. Finally, today we'll be talking about professional stuff, and that's something I've been looking forward to for a long time. So yeah, ask me all the questions. I'm here.
Before, I think we started freelancing quite a like similar time period, like during the COVID time. I started during the COVID time. I think you also started during those times.
Yeah.
So what made you switch to full-time job to freelancing, and what made you to stick?
Initially, it wasn't planned at all. Okay. First year was just about experimenting because COVID was there, and I was not really interested in working from home for a company. Ki bhai 9 to 5, I can't really uh, be that punctual because of the family issues and all those sort of things. So I thought, let's just have an experiment with freelancing. If it works, amazing. If it doesn't, I can always like go back to 9 to 5. So I started working with it, and then I personally feel that freelancing is kind of addictive. Okay, once you start it, once you see the potential it has, okay, once you start to see the freedom you get, you just can't go back to 9 to 5. Unless and until it's a very good firm, you don't really want to just give away all the freedom, all the opportunities you get as a freelancer. So I did it as an experiment for the first year, and it kind of continued for the second year because I had some extra plans that were coming into picture. I was working on the novel, then I was traveling a lot, and all those things were possible only because of freelancing. So I continued for the second year, and this is the third year. So yeah,
Hmm.
I go it
And you
really well.
continued, is because you realized that there is an opportunity. I mean, you will be able to make similar money as you are getting from full-time job.
Is earlier there were some brands I always thought ki, I want to work with them, but how do I reach them? How do I get a job opportunity? And when I started
Hmm.
working as a freelancer, especially due to LinkedIn's personal branding, I got offers from such companies where I wanted to work. So
Hmm.
that kind of made me realize that theek hai, would like to, if I have an opportunity to work with them as a
Hmm.
freelancer, then why not? And then one more thing is that it's very, location independent. So I can work from anywhere, and I don't know if I'll be staying in Delhi for a long time or if I go somewhere else. So I think it's that kind of freedom to be where I want to that is attracting me to freelancing.
Hmm. And you mentioned that you are able to make more money than your full-time job. What is your I mean, your past experiences, and uh, how did you got to know that? Were you a content writer before also doing a full-time job?
Yes, I
Okay.
have been a content writer for a long time. In fact, I started my career as a writer. It's just that the designation and the work changed a bit, but it was around writing. So first it was writing for a magazine, then it was writing for a digital marketing firm, then it was writing for a media channel. So not
Hmm.
specifically content writing, but yeah, all.
And there was no such list, right? You
There
were
was
writing on tech,
I
you were
have
writing on.
explored a lot.
Okay.
In fact, I think it's like I've explored every type of writing.
Hmm.
Maybe I think there are a lot that I haven't explored too much, but let's see if in future I can try.
You have written for magazines, right? I mean, I think it's in your bio as well.
Yes, yes.
Which magazine is that?
It's a B2B magazine. It's known as Asia One Magazine. So magazine and coffee table
Okay.
book.
So you have written magazine blogs, I think. Blogs. Then
It
somewhere,
was
right?
a small media channel, ठीक है? And it was a startup.
हाँ,
So
हाँ,
वो कुछ whole set नहीं था. They wanted to do everything. So they were doing YouTube
हाँ.
channel, they were doing reporting, they were doing documentaries, they were doing short films. So whatever they
Hmm.
were doing, I was also a part of it. तो मुझे explore करने
So,
को कहा, because I remember कि हम लोग जब गए थे for that shoot, so there were 23 people and 21 were men and only 2 were girls. ठीक है,
okay.
और it was and I didn't know any of them because I had joined the company. So that was interesting. Second time was the same thing. Too many boys, too many only 2 girls, but it was fine because I gelled up quite nicely and it was all about work, so it was pretty interesting. So फिर वहाँ से I started working on documentaries over there
Hmm.
where things were going pretty well, and then COVID came and everything just crashed down because they were a startup, so they were just building up. So they couldn't, because all their work was about
Huh.
field. So field में जा नहीं सकते थे, so everything kind of stopped. It wasn't really script
Hmm.
writing, but I was a part of the
Hmm.
team because as a PR, okay, and I was taking care of all the finances and all the scripts because it was a Hindi movie, so all the subtitling and all those sort of things. So
Hmm.
I did that. That was pretty interesting.
Hmm. And then you eventually switched to freelance. You got a taste of freelancing, and then you completely moved to freelancing.
Yeah, I completely moved to freelancing.
You're talking about the good opportunities that you found, or the brands that you wanted to work sometime in future, but you got an opportunity to work with them. So, what were those brands, and how did you got that opportunity?
I didn't actually got inbound leads on LinkedIn. So that was
Nice.
how I kind of received the offers. I worked with the brand, एक brand था. I worked with them, but I didn't like their pricing strategy, so I just said no to them. So it was a big
Hmm.
thing कि हाँ चलो no बोल दिया to a brand where I wanted to work with. ठीक है.
Yeah,
Uh,
actually,
and
even it's not a small thing. The बहुत negligibly बता दिया कि मैंने इग्नोर कर दिया बड़े ब्रांड को जब आई एम टेलिंग यू ड्यूरिंग मैंने स्टार्टेड फ्रीलांसिंग कोई भी कुछ भी बोल दे ना मैं हाँ बोलने के लिए रेडी था
me,
कि
I'm
कुछ
also
भी
like
दे दो
that. I'm also like that. I'm like, in fact,
हाँ
I still have that habit of saying yes to everything. I said yes to that in the beginning, okay, but then I realized that they also have to understand that even if
हाँ
you're a freelancer, you are working with them, not for them. So that kind of hit me, and I think that brand has different departments. I worked with the
हम्म,
department which isn't quite good. So maybe if I get another opportunity with another any other department, then I'd be like happy to work with. But that particular department, I'm not definitely not going to work with them again.
within content writing there are departments.
So it's a news channel actually, a news media
Okay.
newspaper, Indian Express actually.
By the way, I saw you have also worked with Mama. Tell us experience on that. How
Yeah,
did you
so
got that
many
opportunity?
people
Hmm.
think that how did I get into Mama Earth? So the story is very simple. I was working with the second company, so the content manager over there, she became a content manager at Mama Earth. So she reached out to me when I was freelancing for a job. That would you like to join as a content writer? And I'm like, sorry, I've been like focusing on freelancing, so I can't really join as a full-time content writer. But if you have a freelance opportunity, then I'd be like happy to join. So she kind of started giving me projects over there. So that's how I started with Mama. So I didn't really pitch those people. Again, it was through networking. That's why I say
Hmm.
that you should network with people. Ironically, I don't do that
Yeah,
enough, but people should
I
definitely do that. I didn't do it too much, but I was in connection with people who are at good position now. That helped.
from my experience of talking to you for 1 year, he, I have seen, I mean, I've met many people from LinkedIn, and उसके पीछे एक इंटेंशन रहता है कि हम बात करेंगे, हमें काम मिलेगा वैसे.
Mhm.
But you have a very good approach of organically. It's not like there's any something in behind your mind. You try to help. आपको जितना पता है, भी बता देती हो. नहीं
Mhm.
पता है तो नहीं बोलती हो, नहीं पता है मुझे. And it's a very organic way of approach. Maybe this is what, even if you have few number of selected number of connections, but they are very strong, or they're eventually helping you to get some work.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying that most of the inbound leads that I've received or good brands I've received, they were from my connection जब I was working in an office. So abhi bhi, like
Hmm.
yesterday, one of my colleagues called me, messaged me actually on LinkedIn, and
Hmm.
she knew me in 2017. उसके बाद we haven't been like in
Okay.
touch. But she reached out to me कि हाँ,
Hmm.
there's this opportunity in finance. Like, would you like to know? I'm giving your number. तो
Yeah.
इस तरीके
Oh,
से
nice.
many things have come up. Yeah, somebody from my school called me, for a freelancing opportunity. Like
Okay.
my senior, I never talked to him ever in class, but
Hmm.
he reached out to me after like 10 years, let's say.
That happened with me as well. Maybe 2 weeks back, like one of my school friend whom I've never met from 13 years, like 10, 13 years now.
Mhm.
He called me, "Ki I'm starting out of freelancing. I've been watching your post on LinkedIn and you're doing something in freelancing. Help me with that. So got connected with her, and yeah, she was asking question on that. And similarly, as you said, na, my when I started off of freelancing, we don't know how to outreach to people, how to ask, how to make proposals and get our clients. I think the first clients for most of us are like from reference from our colleagues, or mine was also something similar. It came from my colleague who she was in Wipro. I mean, we were worked in Wipro together. She referred me to maybe it was her boss or something, and he was from Ireland, and that's how I got my first client, international client, through a referral from a colleague with whom I have not spoken for 4 5 years. And you also get let the other people know that you are doing freelancing.
So I say this to my students कि ना बहुत subtle तरीके से जाओ और ढिंढोरा पीट दो
हाँ
that you're working as a freelancer.
हाँ. Now tell me about your 27,000 followers on LinkedIn. कैसे किया इसको?
मैंने कुछ नहीं किया. Honestly मैंने
है ये नहीं सकता.
ऑनेस्टली सच में मैंने कोई ऐसी स्ट्रैटेजी वगैरह कुछ भी नहीं अपनाई. इट्स जस्ट दैट कि कंसिस्टेंटली कंटेंट लिख देती हूँ और कभी कभार जो भी लिखती हूँ तो मे बी इट काइंड ऑफ रेजोनेट्स विद पीपल. बट ऐसे स्पेसिफिकली आई हैव नॉट फॉलोड एनी स्ट्रैटेजी टू गेट 27,000 फॉलोवर्स. सो नो spilling secrets over here.
I think that happened initially during the COVID time, na? जब
Yeah.
even I've been writing, I've not been that consistent, but during the
I,
COVID time, you reached 20,000, and last 1 year, mein, it just grew. It has grown by 7,000 followers, I guess.
again see you know that I don't know. मतलब मुझे याद है कि अगस्त 2020 में आई रिमेंबर सितंबर 2020 में आई रिमेंबर कि 3000 थे. तब
Okay.
वाज लाइक ओह 3000 इट्स अ बिग थिंग यार इट्स अ बिग थिंग. फिर उसके बाद भूल गई मैं. फिर अब कभी कभार लाइक देख लिया अच्छा हाँ 27 हो गए 1000 लाइक हाँ मतलब फिर आई एम लाइक थोड़ी सी अगर मैं मेहनत कर लूँ तो सी आई कैन. पर आई एम
There are no specific strategies, nothing.
like from my
Uh,
end I have
share.
not taken any strategy, but if you want to grow your followers then
Hmm.
I think it's all about posting consistently. It's all about engaging a lot because when I did that, then I really saw a
Hmm.
spike in my followers. Right? कि एक दिन में 100
Hmm.
150 200 आराम से आ जाते थे. Right? So that can happen if you, yes, that can
एक दिन में
happen.
150 200.
Yeah,
Okay.
that can happen if you are posting good content. Okay, if people are liking
Hmm.
it, and it does happen.
Hmm.
And I think one more important thing is how you optimize your profile. Right?
Hmm.
I think that my profile, it hasn't been optimized too much, but itne level tak I have that if somebody comes to my profile, they know that I am a freelance writer and I've had a good experience in that. So if they follow me because
Hmm.
I've received messages saying ki your posts have inspired us या फिर post से कुछ सीखने को मिला है. So I think कुछ
Hmm.
value अगर if you're providing it, or if somebody thinks like okay, if I read their content, I might get to know something new. So they will definitely follow you. That's one thing. Then you can make connections. That's one way to have more followers. Not organically as per, but you are reaching out to more people to kind of convert them into your followers. Because you know that
Hmm.
LinkedIn has this friend connection a limit of 30,000. So let's say you have that, you automatically have 30,000 followers. I still have to utilize that. I haven't, but I think if you want to have good amount of followers, but not just having a number of followers, I think people who really matter to you when you're creating content. So abhi I don't know what type of followers are kind of following me. So there might be some dead ones who just came and followed me and just went away. There might be somebody who's really following me for the content, or there might be somebody who just
Okay.
wanted to connect with me and I just didn't approve their friend request and they're just followers now.
Ideally, who do you think is following you?
I think it's they're content writers, freelancers, okay, and a few of the founders and CTOs, which are again my connection.
Right? Huh?
Maybe some creepy people. I don't know.
Does that do you have encountered such incidences? I mean, as
I
well,
guess
right?
everyone has
You
encountered.
mentioned that's. I think that's part of LinkedIn. When people get tired of Tinder, Bumble, and all the stuff, then they come to LinkedIn. Tell me that experience that you were sharing. That
Uh,
was really funny. I felt it
that
very
wasn't
funny.
actually creepy. That was actually very funny. So there was this person, I don't know, I blocked that person. So, so he took a screenshot of my photo and he zoomed in towards the feet area and like literally wrote on it जैसे पेंट से बच्चे लिखते हैं ना on he wrote like pranam आपके चरणों में. He sent it to me and
That's a creative way to do it.
I'm like whose feet are those? I know these feet. I'm like wait, like this is me, that's my feet, like damn, like how could people, I don't know. So that
That's
was,
creative step by the way. I need to tell them.
yeah, I mean,
It's
I
a
don't know
creative
what
way.
he was trying to achieve with that picture. I mean,
Maybe to say hi without getting neglected,
they could just say hi to me, na? Nicely. I would definitely say hi back.
but you don't reply. Maybe
I do reply. It's not like I don't reply,
okay.
but I have my own reservations for that. When somebody messages
Hmm.
me, I see the way they are messaging me and I see their profile. And if I see that there's no connection of professional, and if the
Hmm.
messages have too many eyes, or there's a deer, or there's a flower, and too many things, I don't reply them. I say that
Creepiness of LinkedIn behind.
that's why I say that optimize your profile. If you're not optimizing your profile, even girls won't reply you back.
Reply in even on LinkedIn. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I previously I interviewed a guy, Sayan Sapui. So he's an influencer. He helps influencers on getting monetization, and he was talking about LinkedIn also. And he said that he has a friend who got married to his LinkedIn connection. Came just like this as a DM, and they got married.
And that
And
can,
I know who is there. Yeah, that can happen.
yeah, there was this guy who came to me on LinkedIn saying that I want to get married to you. I have a rishta. I have this and that. And, um, yeah, यार LinkedIn पे तुम client होते तो I'd be happy.
I have even seen Saheli Chatterjee saying that Saheli, you know, right? Saheli Chatterjee, and I know that where Saheli Chatterjee and Ishan Sharma shared that they were in Bumble and they got connected to some guys and girls. I mean, to their partner, and when they started date, right? They either ask for work. So she was saying that they find. I mean, when they find a partner, they usually end up asking them job or internship,
Hmm.
or they might end up, or she even tries to convert them as a client if this person is a founder or no owner, business owner, some sort of.
Yeah, I've
So
heard those
yeah,
stories on LinkedIn also that they went to LinkedIn, they went to Bumble or Tinder, and they found clients over there. So I've heard all of those things.
uh,
Never tried that. But
yeah,
yeah, it has happened. Like
yeah.
if you're talking about some different scenarios where you meet client, I went to Mumbai for a trip,
Hmm.
and there I was working. I stayed in a hostel. So therein, this person came to me and he's like, "Hey, you were working earlier. What do you do?" And we started talking, and he's like, yeah, I'm opening a fintech company, and I might need a content writer." So he reached out to me later on, but then again, finance was not my niche, so I didn't say yes to that project. But yeah, uh, in that particular hostel, I received two offers for work as a client.
So do you think travel can also be a good way of getting connected to the owners, business owners, and getting new clients?
Yeah,
Maybe.
you just need to know where they can be. Retreats offered by companies, where strangers meet and they go on retreats. You can go there and maybe find people who are rich and people who can be your client.
I was wondering about the same. I think my ideal clients are in Thailand, Bali, and Goa. I,
Yeah,
I think
my ideal clients are definitely in Himachal or Uttarakhand.
okay, good. And so Rashmi, you have been working for 3 years, right? 3 years, and it took you 3 years to come down to a niche where you say that it's you want to work for travel and wellness. This is the two niche that you want to write content about.
Mhm.
But it took you 3 years. So whereas I know people who are starting out, but they are from the day one they want to get into tech writer, they want to be technical writer or finance niche. So what do you think the people should select their niche from the day one, or they should try different niches? I know about my niche at least. I mean my ad side of it, how you want to select. But do you think that is same applicable for content writers as well?
See, I personally think that deciding a niche or not deciding a niche should be a personal decision. I know that you
Okay.
can get inspired from other people, you can get influenced by other people. Ki, Arey, that person is working B2B SaaS, so I should do that. You can try that if you think that you're okay with it. But I have always been all about exploring things. So that's the
Hmm.
part of my personality. So that's not
Hmm.
in any way ki, I don't want to write in this particular industry or anything. So that has always been a part of my personality, that I want to explore a lot. I just don't want to sit in a one place or just get stuck in one direction. So that has been a part of
Hmm.
my career also. So I worked with for 2 years, different companies, different brands. But I knew one thing, that there are some brands I don't want to work with. Like there are some industries I just don't want to work with. I don't like it. So there were finance,
Okay.
technology, all the high paying ones. Okay. But in 2023, April, May, I was thinking a lot like what to do and what not to do. So then I decided that let's give a niche a try. Okay. I have always been not uh, happy about choosing one, but uh, I cannot just decide that it's not a good idea unless I've tried it. So
Hmm.
I've decided that if I have to build on new clients pipeline, I would rather work with a travel and wellness brand than any other brand who is just not something I love about. So
Hmm.
I've decided on travel and wellness. I'm looking out for brands, companies, people in travel and wellness area, and yeah, it's going pretty well so far. I've just decided on it. I still have to make a strategy and plan on how to reach those people. I've been connecting with them a lot on LinkedIn. So
Hmm.
connecting in the sense that just connecting, not talking so far. But yeah, that's
Hmm.
just step one. Let's see what the step two and step three take me.
Hmm. Let me, if I summarize this to a point, instead of saying that you selected travel and wellness as your niche, you don't want to do stuff. I don't want to write on finance. I don't want to write on tech. You
Yeah.
kept on doing the don't part first, what you don't want to do, and then eventually come to a point where you got to know that, okay, this is what I want to do. I
Yeah.
have
So
removed
when you
all of the,
cannot decide what you want to do, you should at least decide what you don't want to do.
yeah, yeah. I think that's pretty easier. That's easier. Yeah.
Yeah. So मतलब like why to beat yourself too much if you don't you if you're not able to decide कि क्या करना है पहले ये सोच लो क्या नहीं करना then at least your options will narrow down ना.
And was your idea of writing a book was part of a plan कि बचपन से था कि एक किताब लिखना है. I wanted
Uh,
to be an author.
so
एक किताब पे एक किताब पे मेरे नाम आनी चाहिए. ऐसा ऐसा कुछ था क्या?
हाँ. So I never have very long term goals. Okay, I have really small goals which I try to achieve. So there was this one goal that when I used to see magazines when I was a kid, yeah, on one magazine I want my name, right? Having a byline and all those sort of things, and that happened eventually. And I always wanted that I wanted to have a book, maybe a story. So I always thought that maybe I won't be able to do a novel because oh that's so consuming. I won't be able to do that. So हमेशा से सोचा था I'll do a short story book because short story लिखना easy
Okay.
होता है, collections कर लेंगे and I'll publish that. But somehow 2020 got me into this thing, and I'm so happy that it happened because I know it's a very tough task to think of a story, to work on it, to take the character towards the end, have a good ending. So that was quite mind-boggling, and it was mess actually. We worked for, but thankfully there was a deadline from the publication, so I was able to complete it in time.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, having that idea, कि, oh, it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. So I had to kind of make myself understand कि oh, it's okay. It's your first novel. You just have to work on it,
Hmm.
and perfection देखा जाएगा बाद में. पहले स्टोरी पे काम करो.
Hmm. It was mostly from your idea कि एक किताब लिखना है. You
Yeah,
wanted to do this, not because as a part of your diversification income diversify करना है.
maybe I wanted to
Uh,
have my name imprinted somewhere. I'm an author. You see, it feels good,
okay.
right? And it
Yeah.
also helped me realize na कि I have this ability to write a whole length story. So it's also
Hmm.
kind of overreaching your own goals,
So
right?
was that written by you? I mean, there's a co-author, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we were two people. We were paired by the publication house, and we together had to,
Okay.
brainstorm and think of ideas, think of stories. And it was so difficult because we have 10 years difference between each other. She's a doctor. I'm a writer,
Hmm.
right? And we never
Okay.
met each other ever. So it was a kind of a
Okay.
challenge to be on the same page, right?
Hmm.
Because she would think of the protagonist as her personality. I would think of the personality as my of the protagonist as my
Hmm.
personality. So we would have this
Hmm.
conversation. No, Abhi, she should do this, and she'd be like, no, 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 she's like this. Na, she won't react this way. She would react this way. So then we had
Okay.
this proper page where we first decided what's the character, like what is she like,
Hmm.
our main protagonist. Then we decided any other action she took later on based on that character
Hmm.
that we created for her. It was fun.
So if I want to write a book, So what should be steps I should be following? Should I reach out to publications, or I wait for publications to uh, reach out to me? How does that work?
So, thankfully, nowadays there are lots of publications, okay, where they allow you, they help you actually to publish your own book. It just involves a lot of, monetary things. But if you really want to get a publisher to help you with it, then there are different, competitions that goes on. So I also applied in this HBB's author competition, and I gave my story there. I got selected, and then they paired me with the doctor. So they selected 12 people out of all the entries. I was the one. And then they gave us a genre to select. Like I chose thriller, but they said that I read your writing and I thought that drama would be better for you. So I got a drama genre. Then we created the story, and then we had deadlines that okay, itni tarikh ko you have to send us the first draft, then itni tarikh ko that will be second draft, and then editing and all those sort of things. So it was a very messy process, I'll be very honest. I'm happy that theek hai, whatever it was a good learning experience. If you want to publish your book, there are different publication houses. There's Half Baked Beans. There's one more I'm forgetting the name of, wherein you don't even have to participate in any competition. You can just go and get your book published. Or I think Kindle is also a good alternative to get your published. Otherwise, nowadays, so everyone is like going for ebooks. So why not try that? Graphic designer, I just didn't like the cover at all. So I designed it in Canva, and then I sent it, ki, this is something I want. And then they made this one.
Oh, this was designed by you. Okay. You even I told you before, right? Your carousels in LinkedIn are really creative.
Thanks to my last job, वहाँ पे we had to I had to handle the Instagram page. So therein I got to learn a lot. In fact, that was the place I also learned about Premiere Pro, Photoshop. थोड़ा बहुत वहाँ पे I learned from the people working there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, you know that as well.
they were kind of friends, so they were like, "Yeah, मेरे को भी सिखा दो, please." They're like, "Okay, come and sit." So the documentaries that we made, I edited most of them. The basic cuts I did, and then the effects and extra all those things the editor would do.
Okay, so is it? Do you also agree with the part that if anyone is starting with, they should start with the job and then eventually come to freelancing?
Yeah, I think so.
I also think the same manner. पहले आओगे, you'll be limiting your skill set just to writing, or just like as you said, Premiere Pro, video, Photoshop to some extent, or
I
Canva.
think doing a job is also more about experience. You get to learn teamwork, you get to meet new people, all those sort of things. But it also depends on the type of company you're joining. Like I've been lucky enough. All of the companies I worked with, they were really good. I enjoyed working there. So if it were not for COVID, I don't think I would have been a freelancer. I would have been a 9 to 5 person.
So
I'm still a 9 to 5 person in my heart.
So the only part right now remaining is here, or from the alternative option that you have, alternative works that you do. One is the mentorship program that you do for unboxing art,
Yeah.
which is again unique, which is different from the other two that you have done. Like authors, it's different from the freelance content writing, and this other one is mentoring other students. So how does that happen? That means completely different set of skill sets. So
Yeah.
how did you develop that?
So how did it happen? Again, it happened through LinkedIn. They
No
reached out
problem.
to me saying that we have this mentorship program and we would like to invite you on board. And me being me, I said, hey, I don't have any experience. I've never been a teacher, and I don't know how to do it. So Nandini was really good. She was like, "Acha, theek hai, just give it a try. If you don't feel like it, then don't do it." So they asked me for a demo, and I joined specifically sub setup karke. And I'm telling you, that day technology made a fool out of me. Everyone's internet was working in my house except mine. And I joined. I thought it was a demo, so there'll be like those people only. Think just having an idea how I speak and all those sort of things. But when I joined, I saw that this is a proper class. That was a proper class. There were I saw 10 students. I'm like, yeah, fine, 10 students. And it was like 20, 30, 40, 50 students. I'm like, now I can't do anything. So I had done a theater thoda bahut in my college time. I'm like, okay, this is the time to act now, that I'm not nervous at all. And I started my presentation. It was really nice. The students were really supportive. Like my technology was going haywire, but they helped me a lot. They were patient. I did the whole course. I loved the whole experience. It was definitely nerve-wracking. I loved talking to students, so to say. And the feedback they got from the students was also very good. So that they said that we've received very good feedback from the students, or please join us. So maila chalo theek hai, I'll join you. So then it started, and it's been more than a year actually. और आई थिंक 70-80
Hmm.
सेशंस हो चुके हैं, आई डोंट नो 200-300 स्टूडेंट्स, सो दैट्स बीन रियली गुड. सो देयर वाज अ टाइम आई वाज लाइक आई यूज्ड टू प्रिपेयर फॉर एटलीस्ट एन आवर कि क्या होगा क्लास में, क्या होगा क्लास में. नाउ आई एम लाइक कि 5 मिनट्स बिफोर आई एम लाइक हाँ हाँ चलो चलो लेट्स टेक द क्लास.
So, so right now you're continuing with them, right?
या
It's like weekly once or two, twice, like that.
वीकली वंस.
Weekly once.
या
Okay. And you also make the the cohort kind of where you have sections like आज का topic ये है, कल का topic ये रहेगा, like that.
So they
Next week
have
you
specific
do.
modules. They have specific
Hmm.
modules, and I have the modules with me, so I teach accordingly.
Before we end up this podcast, give us some few tips to the freelancer content writers who are planning to get into content writing, or any author who is wanted to get into write a book. So give some tips on that. Like not necessarily because you have multiple skills, you have been working, or your income streams are very diversified.
I think definitely they should be on LinkedIn. Okay. I've been underusing the platform, but even as I'm underusing it, it has given me great opportunities. So that is something I would ask everyone to do. Be on LinkedIn, start writing on a daily basis, and connect with people. One thing. Second thing is that, which I'm also planning to do next, is that pick out the publications where they want to get published, and they pitch those people. Like that's how it's going to work, right? If they want to have a credibility, especially in terms of writing. So that's something they should do. As for becoming a book writer, I think you should first start working on your skill, because it can be a very very mind boggling and messy process of writing something. So they can take a creative writing course, or maybe they can join a community of writing short stories or something like that. And if they feel like their short stories are like being good, I mean, one way would be, I think you can become a storyteller on LinkedIn. You can start, writing short stories ki 300 words ke andar you have to write a story. So that can be a challenge to you. You can start putting those stories out. And then later on, if you feel like, you can reach out to these
Hmm.
publications. They charge you something around 20 to 20,000 rupees, 20,000 to 30,000, depending on the type of services you're getting. So they won't say that they're charging for publishing. They will say that they're charging for things like editing. They're charging for graphic designing, all those sort of things, service charges. So if you have that kind of money, so you can go and get published to some, I think Notion Publishing is there also. I met the founder of that company. I forgot the name. They are also into, helping newbie writers getting published.
Okay.
So, but understand that freelancing and book publishing, they're very different.
Hmm.
So दोनों पे extra focus जाएगा, then you'll be able to do something. Just start writing, and
Hmm.
don't be afraid to take risk. All of the experience that I've had, I was like hell nervous, hell scared of taking the first step, but I did anyway, thinking कि चलो नहीं हुआ perfection, so what? At least I'll try, and then I'll know that okay, I failed. That's something they should do.
So, guys, if this podcast did not have motivated you enough, then I will link Rashmi's LinkedIn URL description on the description. You can reach out to her, talk to her. She's very open to give you a call. You can talk to her on phone as well. Like she's very good at phone calls as well.